Hello students, how are you today? Welcome to the virtual English class produced by Center for Education and Human Resource Development. Today we are going to do a lesson from Unit 4. Okay? Before I start the topic, let me show you some things. Alright? Let's see the things. Can you see? Okay. What are these things? Can you name these things? Yes. These are whiteboard erasers, right? Yes. Have you seen it? Yes, you have, right? So tell me, how many whiteboard erasers are there? Yes, there are 3 whiteboard erasers. You are absolutely right. Now, I have another thing to show you. What is this? This is water, right? And can you tell me how much water is there? It is more than half, or you can say almost full, right? Okay, let me show you another thing to you. What about this? What is this? A cleaner, right? How much is the cleaner here? It's half, right? It's a half of cleaner. All right. Now, I'd like to tell you what we are going to talk about today in this lesson. Let me write the topic to you. How much and how many? Okay. These are the topics we are going to talk about today. All right, students. So we are going to use these words to ask some amount of things. Okay? And you are going to ask questions as well as you are going to respond to that question. All right? So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to use these words to ask questions, to talk about some amount of things, like we said, how much is the water, or how many cleaners, or how many dusters, or pens, or pencils. You can ask like this. All right, students, are you ready? Okay, please open your book on page number 26. There is the lesson about how much and how many under Unit 4, and the title of the unit is The Brave Woman. Can you see? Okay, let me show you the picture of the book here on your screen. So you have the title, A Brave Woman, and under this you can see pictures. Can you see the pictures? Yes, right? So what are the people doing in the picture? They are talking. So they might be asking some questions about something, right? So let's look at the first picture here. What is the boy doing? Asking a question to the girl, right? Yes, and the girl is eating rice. Another picture, let's see, is about a bookshop or a library, and a man is asking a question to a boy. Let's see the next picture. Okay, there are 2 people talking to each other. They are also asking questions about something. And we have another exercise, solving the puzzle in the same lesson. And we will also do listen and read a poem. And then finally, we will look at a text about Mother Teresa, and we will fill the information. All right, students, are you ready? Can you see this information in your book? Okay, let's start. So we will start from the beginning, okay? The topic, how much and how many. Let me explain to you before we start making the question. Let me explain what does how much means, or what does how many means. Let's talk about these individually. Okay, our topic is how many and how much. Okay, can you see this? Can you read it? Yes, how many and how much. Okay, these were make questions about amount of something. So we call them quantifiers. Okay, quantifiers. We call them quantifiers, and they talk about quantity or amount of something. Do you know quantity and amount? Yes, quantity and amount means something we can say sometimes describe like few, we can say little, you can say full, you can say a half, you can say also many, and also a bit. These are the things to describe amount of things or quantity of things. All right, students? Okay, so let me again explain what does it, tell you, or what does it tell about. Let me write here. It tells information about a noun. Okay, students? Some noun, their amount, how much is it, or how many are there. We talked about water and eraser earlier. So you can say water is a noun, a pen is a noun, or you can say, duster is a noun. Okay? And these nouns are divided into two types. There are countable nouns, and another is the non-count noun. All right? So for count noun or countable noun, we can say 1, 2, and 3, and more. Right? And for non-count nouns, we can't say 1 water or 2 water. Are you clear, students? Okay, that's great. Now, which are count and which are non-count nouns? Okay, water, for example, and milk are the, water, milk are the non-count noun, and count nouns are pen and duster. So, let's again talk about how many and how much. Okay, students? Can you see how much and how many here? Okay, the meaning of these two different words are the same, but the use is a little different because of the count and non-count nouns. That you just watched or studied about count and non-count nouns, so you are clear about them. So for count nouns, we use how many. And for non-count nouns, we use how much. Okay? Non-count nouns, we use how much. With how many, you use, count nouns. For example, count nouns like pens, books, you ask like how many books are there, how many pens are there. And for non-count nouns, we use how much. For example, how much water is there, or how much milk is there. So these are the difference, but the meaning is same. Okay? So you can ask about the amount of something with how much and how many. The difference is that for countable noun, you use many, how many, and for non-countable or uncountable nouns, you use how much. Are you clear, students? Okay, another difference you can find is that with how many, you can use plurals, plural nouns. For how many or how much, you can't use plurals. You use verbs like is, and for how many, you use verbs like are. So the non-count nouns are always in the singular form. You cannot make plural of non-count nouns. Like water, you cannot say waters or many waters. You cannot say that. You have to say water is. Okay? So this is singular. Okay, these are the information about how much and how many. Now we are going to begin our lesson from the Unit 4, and we will practice making or reading the conversation given in your first page of Unit 4 on page number 26. Can you see, students? Let's see the picture and the dialogue here. Here, look, listen and say. In this, lesson, in this first part of your lesson, what is there? There is a question about how much rice did you eat? Okay, the boy is asking to the girl, how much rice did you eat? So you have much rice. Okay, so with the noun rice, there is the word much. How much? Why is it so? Because rice is a non-count noun. So we cannot count rice. So we cannot say how many. So we have how much rice did you eat? The answer you can say, if you have eaten less, a little. So how do you say? Once again, can you read it? Okay, yes. How much rice did you eat? You have to say. And the answer is a little. Now let's see the next picture and the dialogue. Another man says, how many books did you buy? And the answer is 6. So here for books, many is used. How many is used? Why? Because books can be counted, right? Can you count the book? Yes. How many books do you have? 6, 7, 8. Right. You are right? You can count the books and you can say the number, right? So here is the number. 6 books he bought. The boy bought in the bookshop. Okay, let's see the next picture and the dialogue. The woman says, how much money did you earn? Can you count the money? No, we cannot count money, okay? You can count the notes or coins, but you cannot count money. So you have to use much. Okay, students, are you clear about this? Okay, that's great. Let's see. The answer you can give is a lot. A lot means very much. Okay, what is the meaning of a lot? Very much. You are right. Okay, now let's see the next dialogue. How many times did you go there? Can you see the picture, next picture? Okay, the boy and the girl is talking and one is asking, how many times did you go there? So when you go to somewhere, you can count that your visit, right? Can you count? Yes, you can say 5 times, 2 times, or 3 times. You can say the number of visit. Can't you, students? Yes, you can, right? So we use how many for your visit. Okay, this is the way we can make how many and how much question for asking amount or the quantity of something. Are you clear, students? Okay, I will explain it to you again. Let's move to another exercise from your book. This is the exercise given in your book. It's in number 2, and you have to solve the puzzle, number puzzle. Okay. So we were talking about the quantity and the amount. Sometimes you can say the number as the quantity and amount of something. For example, how many pens you have? You can say 3, 4, 5. These are numbers, right? So let's fill in these green boxes with the number. Here are the clues given. So you have to add the numbers together and write the word, let by letters. Okay, students, are you ready? Let me show you the exercise here. I have done one for you in the across line here. Let's try from the first or the beginning of this across line. Here you have clue in this side. You have to put here 2 plus 0. So how do you say 2 plus 0? What is the addition? It is the same word, right? The 2 is the number after we add with 0, the same number, right? So how do you say 2 in words? TWO, right? Okay, let's see. You can fill this boxes with TWO. Yes. Now I have done it for you. 5 plus 6. Sorry, 5. No. Here is the clue for you for this line. Okay, 7 plus 0 is again the same number, SEVEN. Okay, right. Now let's move to another line this side. What is the clue here? 2 plus 2, right? So what is the total number of this addition? Yes, it's FOUR. Let's see the number. FOUR. You are right, students. Now let's try the another line, across line. From here, we have 8 plus 9 as the clue. What is the addition? You have N here. Yes, 8 plus 1 is 9, N-I-N-E. That's great. Now, let's try the last line, okay? Can you try? What is the clue here? Can you see? It's 2 plus 1. What is the total number? What is the word? Okay, yes, it's THREE. It's 3. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Another number now we have to fill is the straight down line. Now let's begin from this top one. Okay, we have already clues here, T at the beginning and N at the end of the word of the number. Can you tell me what is the number when you add 8 with 2? The total number is, yes, it's 10. You are right. Now let's try the next one. 5 plus 1 is 6. You are right. Now let's try another one. 7 plus 1. What is the total number? It's 8. So how do you spell? EIGHT. You are right to guess. Now next we have here, already we have 2 letters here. You have to add 1. So the clue is 1 plus 0. What is the total number 1 plus 0? If you add 0 with 1, what is the number? It is the same 1, right? So you add 1 O here and make 1. Another last down line, we have F at the beginning and E at the end. And the clue is 3 plus 2. So you add and you make FIVE 5. Okay, this is the solution of the number puzzle. So can you now write these numbers in words? Okay, so when you have to talk about some amount, you can say these numbers. All right? Okay, let's move to the another exercise. How much and how many? In this part of the lesson, I'm going to explain to you what is much and what it means by many. We have already talked about how much and how many. Let's talk about much and many. These are quantifiers, as we already said. Okay, they can be used for count and non-count nouns. For example, let me show you again, which we already talked to make you clear with the pictures here. there are the count nouns. Okay, count noun is something we can count. It has singular form and plural form. You can say, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can say 4 dogs. Okay, so dogs is a plural form of the noun dog. Okay, and you can say 3 apples. Look here, apple with S is a plural form. So we say for the count nouns we can make plurals of those nouns. Okay, next let's see the non-count nouns. So let me remind you more about the non-count nouns. The non-count nouns, as we said or talked about water and milk, you can also say sugar is a non-count noun because we cannot count this, sugar. Okay, and another is crisp. For example, other similar nouns are rice, bread, flour, ice cream, drinks, or pickles, or some preserves. You cannot count those things. Right, students? Are you clear? Okay, we will practice more in the later pages. So count and non-count nouns, we are going to talk about non-count nouns. A non-count noun is something we don't count. It has no plural form. For example, we use many with count nouns and much with non-count nouns. Let me show you some examples. So for how much and how many, we can make these kind of sentences. Let's see. You can say, how many friends? I have many friends in my classroom. So how many friends do you have? I have many friends in my classroom. So for friends, you use many because you can count your friends. Can't you? Yes, you can. Now let's see the next one. So there is much noise in our classroom. Can you count the noise? You cannot count the noise, right? So you use much noise in our classroom. Another sentence is, how many students are there in your school? Again, students are countable noun, so you use how many there. And how many books do you have? Books you can count. How many pens are there in your bag? You can also count pens. There are many students in our school. There are 2 pens in my bag. These are the answers. There is much noise in the classroom. For the questions, you can answer like this. Children need much milk to be healthy. For milk, you cannot use many. You have to use much because milk also is a non-count noun. We should not take much time in games. Can you count nouns? Sorry, can you count time? No, right? So we use much with time again. Okay, students, now let's move to another exercise. You have to supply here the correct answer with much and many. Okay, students, please decide. Okay, I'm going to show you here. Pupils. Pupils means students like you. Can you count them? Yes, we do, right? So many pupils. And time. What about time? Can you count this one? No, right? So you have to write, or you have to say much time. What about money? Money also is non-count noun. What about milk here? Can you count milk? No, right? So you say much milk. And dogs. Can you count dogs? You can, yes. And you can say many dogs. For water, can you say many water? No. You have to say much water, right? Okay, that's great. Now let's try with people. Can you count people? Yes, we can count people. And so we have to say many people. Okay, many mangoes and much sugar. Okay, these are the similar nouns. All right, students, next let's see the questions here again. So with the birds, you use how many, right? How many birds are there? Can you say it again? How many birds are there, right? So what about water? Water in the river. Yes, how much water is there in the river? Another is sugar. Can you say? Can you tell me yourself? Sugar is there in the jar. Yes, how much sugar is there in the jar? What about money? Can you try? Yes, you are right. How much money in a bank? Next, pens. Yes, how many pens are there in a dozen? Now, next noun is the country here. Can you count countries? Yes, we can say. How many countries? What about bread, students? Can you count this? No, we cannot count. We can say a piece of bread, but we cannot count bread itself. Okay? So we should say how much. All right? Are you clear, students? Okay. Now let's count these trees here. Can you count these trees? Yes. How many trees are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So there are 8 trees. Yes, you are right. Now let's see. Can you count these trees? You can count, but it takes a lot of time, right? When it is a lot of, things, we have to use a lot instead of 1, 2, 3 or number, which you can count, but it's impossible to say exactly or quickly. So for this, you should say a lot. Next, so how much water is there? Can you count water? No. Then how do you say how much water is there? So you have to say, or you can say a lot again. So a lot can be used for countable and non-countable or uncountable nouns for both. Okay, now let's see how much water is there. Can you see water? Very little, right? You can't easily see water here. So we should say a little. A little means very in less number or less amount. Okay, students? Let's see another exercise about a little, a few, a lot. Okay, these are the answers to the question how much and how many. When someone asks you to tell the amount of something, for example, how much water is there? If you want to say a lot or and in the less number amount, you should say a little, a few, or a lot. Let's see the meanings of these things, these words. A little is for uncountable noun. Okay, students? A little is for uncountable noun. For example, if I have water, in the less amount here, up to here, you can say a little water. Okay? And for a few, we use it for countable nouns. For example, if I have only 1 and 2 pens, then you can say I have few pens, not little pens, because these are countable. You should use few with countable nouns like pens and books. You should use few. Okay, students? And these two mean the same, or these both means some. Okay, you can also say, instead of saying few, you can say I have some pens, or you can say I have some water, both. So what about a lot? A lot is for both the nouns, countable and uncountable, and the meaning of this word means very much, or in the big amount. All right, students? Now let's see the example here. I have a little money means you have less money. I have some money means you have some money, maybe a little money. And I have a few friends means you have some friends. I have friends a lot means you have many friends. Okay, students? Are you clear about these? Little, a few, and a lot? Okay, you can answer these amounts with these words. All right? Let's go to the exercise again from your book. You have to now make the similar conversation with the help of these clues. The example is given to you here. Curd eat. How much curd did you eat? The answer is a lot. Now shirts. How many, right? Shirts. Can you count shirts? Yes, 1 shirt, 2 shirts. So you can say, how many shirts did you buy? Let me write the answer to you. Okay, for shirts buy, you have to say, how many shirts did you buy? Okay? A asks the question to B, how many shirts did you buy? And B can answer 1 or 2, right? This is the number. Another question is apples eat. Apples eat. How do you make the dialogue here? You have to make the question with how much and how many. There is the noun, countable noun, so we should use many for this. So you should say, how many apples did you eat? Okay, and B gives the answer as, if he or she has eaten a lot, can say a lot. Another question to you given to you is milk drink. So you should say how much here. Why? Because milk cannot be counted. So A should ask like this, how much milk did you drink? And the answer of B can be a little. If someone has drunk a little amount of milk, then he can say a little for the less amount of milk. All right, students, now do the rest of the questions yourselves likewise, and you should practice doing the other as well. Let's see the other exercises from your book. Listen and read. This is a poem from your book. Let me read it for you loudly. Okay, students? There is also the use of many. Look, there was a man who did a great deed, that he plowed and sowed a seed. That was the first seed that he sowed. What was the first crop that he mowed? We have now many crops and many seeds. We don't know who did those great deeds. Okay, students, here you see we have how many crops and many seeds. Look here. So for telling about the amount of something, you can use many. Okay, students. Okay, so can you practice pronunciation of these words? Did, seed, seed, sowed, mowed, seeds, deeds. Okay, students. Can you do it again? Yes. What is the word? It's did, right? Another word. Can you pronounce this one? Plowed. Okay. So seed. Another one. Sowed. Mowed. Okay. So these type of similar words are known as rhyming words in English or in poem. Students, can you try finding the rhyming words to these two words here? What are the other similar sounding words? Let me help you. Do you find here seed? Yes. After seed you should say did, these are the similar sounding words or rhyming words. And for short, we have plod and mode. This is how you can complete this exercise from your book. Alright students, so till now what you have learned is using how much and how many for asking the amount of some things or some nouns, and responding to that question how much and how many with the words like a little, a few, or the numbers like 1, 2, 3. Okay, can you use those things now in your conversation? Okay, please try with your friends and family. Thank you very much for your patience to watch this video till the end. We will see in another video next time. Thank you so much.